My parents stole my college fund to pay for my siblings' destination wedding. I never thought I'd find myself in a situation like this. I grew up in a middle-class family, and from a young age, my parents always emphasized the importance of education. They made sure I understood that going to college was my ticket to a better life, and I worked hard to maintain good grades. My parents promised me that they'd help me out with a college fund, one they'd started when I was little. Fast forward to this year. I'm about to graduate from high school and I'm excited about the future. But things took a turn when my parents announced that my older sibling, Emily, was getting married. It was supposed to be a joyful moment. Emily had always been the golden child, the one who could do no wrong in my parents' eyes. But when they said the wedding was going to be a destination wedding in another country, my stomach dropped. I knew how much it would cost, and I started feeling uneasy. It wasn't long before I found out the unthinkable. My parents had taken a significant portion of my college fund to pay for Emily's wedding. When I confronted them, they didn't even try to deny it. They told me, in the most casual tone, that they had to prioritize family and that my education could wait. They claimed they'd help me with loans and that I should be grateful they were paying for Emily's wedding in the first place. I couldn't believe it. My whole life, they'd made it clear that I'd be going to college with their support. And now, they were telling me my dream of higher education was secondary to a lavish wedding for Emily. I tried to stay calm, but I felt betrayed, hurt, and angry. I'm supposed to leave for college in a few months, and I don't know how I'm going to afford it now. My parents didn't even offer to help me make up the difference. Instead, they told me I should take responsibility for my education and figure it out on my own. Am I wrong for being upset? I don't know what to do, but I feel like my entire future is at risk because of their decisions. I feel completely blindsided. Update 1. I was honestly hoping that the first post would be enough to get them to realize how wrong they were. But things have only gotten worse. After I wrote the post, I had another conversation with my parents. I tried to explain how much this meant to me, how I had been working my whole life toward getting into a good college, and how I thought they would be there to support me, but they just didn't seem to care. My dad said, "You're being dramatic. It's just a wedding, and we can't afford both right now. Emily is getting married once, and this is a big deal. You'll have plenty of time for college." Mum didn't say much, but kept repeating that it's only money and that college loans aren't the end of the world. I was stunned. It felt like they were brushing off the very thing I had worked my entire life for, all because they wanted to show off at Emily's wedding. I ended up calling my aunt, who is really close to me. She didn't know about the situation at first, but once I explained everything, she was furious. She said I should have reached out to her sooner and that she would help me if I needed it. She's been a real source of comfort, even though I'm still trying to process everything. I've started looking into scholarships and financial aid, but I'm worried it won't be enough. The wedding isn't even over yet, and it's clear my parents still don't get it. Emily hasn't been helpful either. She just keeps saying, I need to be happy for her, and that I shouldn't ruin her big day by making it about me. I honestly don't know what to do anymore. My parents seem so set in their ways, and I don't know how I can go forward with my education when they're actively sabotaging it. I'm trying to stay strong, but it feels impossible. Update 2. I thought I'd update everyone on the situation, and I have some good news and bad news. First, the bad news. My parents have doubled down on their decision. They still refuse to acknowledge what they did was wrong. They're insisting that I should be able to figure out the rest of the money for college on my own. The wedding was extravagant, and now they're pushing all the blame onto me for not being more understanding. But here's where things took a turn for the better. My aunt has stepped up in a huge way. She's offered to help cover a significant portion of my tuition, and she's helping me navigate through some scholarship opportunities. It's not a perfect solution, but at least it's something. I also had a heart-to-heart with a close friend who told me I needed to stand up for myself and my future. I've been so consumed by hurt and anger that I hadn't really considered what I needed to do to make sure my dreams were still achievable. I'm applying for more scholarships and considering student loans, and I've found a few part-time jobs that will help. As for my parents, I'm still hurt and I'm not sure I can forgive them anytime soon. I'm trying to build a future without them, even though it's hard. I just feel like they've thrown my life aside for something that doesn't even matter in the long run. So, that's where I am now. I'm not sure what my relationship with them will look like in the future, but I'm focused on making it to college and making the best of this situation, no matter how unfair it feels. Final update. Well, I've made it. I'm officially in college, and things have started to look up. The first semester was tough, but I made it through with the help of my aunt and some amazing scholarships. I'm still working part-time to cover living expenses, but it's been manageable. As for my parents, I've distanced myself from them. I sent them a message once I got settled into school, telling them I was grateful for the help they did offer, before taking it all back. But I can't keep sacrificing my future for their mistakes. They've tried reaching out a few times, but I'm not sure I can ever see them the same way again. Emily, of course, hasn't said much since the wedding. She's still focused on her life, and I'm trying to focus on mine. I've realized that my education and future come first, and I can't let them drag me down anymore. Thank you to everyone who supported me throughout this process. I'm slowly rebuilding, and I'm confident I'll be able to make something great of my life, even if my parents won't be a part of it. With the help of my aunt and scholarships, I've made it to college despite my parents stealing my college fund for my siblings' wedding. I'm focused on my future now, and the relationship with my parents is beyond repair.